Hello again, this will be video number 5. It is December 1st, 2012, and in my previous video I was just in the process of explaining the connection of a false god. The false god in 1 Kings chapter 12 in the Bible was a golden calf, and at Woodstock, Woodstock was commonly called the Aquarian Exposition, and this to me is the equivalent of a false god, Aquarius, and so yeah, and many people are aware of I should say many people who are aware of biblical passages are aware of the number 666 and how it's mentioned in the book of Revelation in the Bible. And I just wanted to let people know, originally $6 a day was to be charged for entrance into Woodstock, but after so many people came, it was made free. And here is an original ticket. It was indicates $6 a day for 3 days, and so that's another connection. And in the Damascus document, it talks about how they were stubborn as a heifer. I guess what I want to say is, before I get into that, is it could very well be some of these connections, like the 666, and even the town of Bethel in August 15th. It doesn't exactly say it in this book that I got, but it could be somewhat of a finger in the eye of traditional Christianity, and how there was the counterculture was more or less be in rebellion against the traditional values. And so this is, if you go to my website, here is the first page of the Damascus document. And on the second page, I want to talk about it. It looks like so. Here it's saying, for they sought smooth things and preferred illusions. And this correlates to how people preferred to get drunk or get high instead of facing reality. And there's a lot of fascinating things in this Dead Sea Scroll here. One of the things it says is that God loves knowledge, wisdom and understanding he has set before him, and prudence and knowledge serve him. That's something to consider. Knowledge of oneself is very important. In finding the truth. And here's another portion on the third page. And he made his covenant with Israel forever, revealing to them hidden things in which all Israel had gone astray. And he unfolded before his holy Sabbaths, his holy, he unfolded before them his holy Sabbaths, his glorious feasts, and the testimonies of his righteousness, and the ways of his truth, and the desires of his will, which man must do in order to live. And they dug a well rich in water, and he who despises it shall not live. And then it goes on here on this same page, and it talks about 3 forms of false righteousness that shall arise. And the first is riches, and the second is fornication, and the second is profanation of the temple. And now, so I look at these 3 false forms of righteousness, and the first one, riches, when I think of that, I think of like the Rockefellers and so forth. And then fornication. This really was something that became popularized after the Woodstock era. It's the sexual revolution. And then we have the third one, profanation of the temple. Now the temple it can be a structure, a building, but it's also your body. Your body is God's temple. And so yeah, we have riches, and since the time of Woodstock, I've noticed how lotteries have become very popular. There used to be only gambling in Las Vegas and Atlantic City for the most part, but now we have government sponsored gambling, and we have the Indian casinos. And so riches in many ways is a modern form of righteousness. And then we have the fornication. It's very common nowadays for young women to have babies out of wedlock, and have several babies out of wedlock, and who knows who the father is on any number of them. And so, and then we have the profanation of the temple, which when I think of that, I think about the promotion of homosexual marriage, and it's like become a form of righteousness to get married to someone of the same sex, where I think of this as sort of what they call an oxymoron. To get married to someone of the same sex isn't possible, because marriage is for having a family, procreating, and that isn't what homosexuals do. I do believe that God made everyone different, and there's nothing to be ashamed of if you truly feel that you have you're attracted to someone of the same sex. But to call a relationship like that marriage is not something we should do. I agree with the saying "live and let live" up to a certain point. But then I also agree with trying to live up to a higher standard and maintaining those standards instead of veering off into different directions. And this is something that is indicated in the Damascus Rule when they call how they went into the wilderness.